Hello, scholars! In this lesson, we'll be learning how to use fraction models to solve addition problems. Feel free to pause the video at any time to try the problem on your own before I complete them. First, we're going to solve a problem using pie slices. The first problem we're going to try is 2/6 plus 3/6. Now, using a pie slice, we simply start by drawing a circle. Now, since our denominator is 6, we're going to separate this pie into 6 equal slices. Then we'll take the numerator and we'll color in that many pie slices. So this numerator is 2. Let's color in 2 of these. 1 and 2. We go to the next numerator, and that one is 3, so let's color in 3 more slices. 1, 2, 3. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pie slices. So we see that 2/6 plus 3/6 equals 5/6. Let's try a slightly harder problem. This one will be 4/6 plus 3/6. So let's begin drawing our pie slices by drawing a circle. I think we may need a second one, so we'll go ahead and set that one up as well. And our denominator is 6 again, so we'll separate these into 6 equal slices. And let's look at our first numerator. Our first numerator is 4. So we're going to count out and color in 4 of these pie slices. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our second numerator is 3. So we're going to have to color in 3 more pie slices. We're not going to start on a new one. Let's continue to fill in the one we already started. 1, 2, now we move to this one, 3. So we see here that one entire pie has been filled in. That equals 1. Then when we add this pie, which is equal to 1 out of 6, so 1/6, we find that our answer is 1 and 1/6. So the answer to 4/6 plus 3/6 is 1 and 1/6. If we wanted to go through this and figure out what the improper fraction would be, we would simply count all of the pie slices that are colored in and put them over the same denominator. For example, this one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over the same denominator, 6. So the improper fraction would be 7/6, and the mixed number is 1 and 1/6. Let's look at slicing squares. This is another model you can use for working with fractions. We'll use the same problem, 2/6 plus 3/6. Since our denominator is 6, we're going to make our slicing square and separate it into 6 equal pieces. Then simply count and color in the numerators. 1, 2. Now we go to the next numerator, which is 3. 1, 2, 3. And when we count up for our numerator, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of 6, we find that we have the same answer. Let's look at slicing squares with our second problem. In this one, I think we're going to need 2 slicing squares, so we'll go ahead and draw out both of them now. Once again, separating both of them into 6 equal boxes. Now we'll take our first numerator and color in that many slicing squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at our second numerator, which is 3, and continue coloring in the slices of the square. 1, 2. Since this one is full, let's move on to the next one. 3. Again, we have one complete full slicing squares, which is equal to one whole, and we have 1 out of 6, or 1/6 of that slicing square filled in. And that is equal to 1 1/6. And again, if we want, that's the mixed number. If we wanted to count up the improper fraction, we would count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then our numerator, or excuse me, our denominator is 6. So that would be 7/6. Let's look at doing these on a number line. So again, we have our problem of 2/6 plus 3/6. We're going to draw our number line here. Our arrows that say the number line doesn't stop. We're going to start with 0, and we're going to put a 1 over here. That's going to be the extent of our number line. Now we have to separate this number line into six pieces, in between the 0 and the 1. And we're going to count the spaces. So that's 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 4 spaces, 5 spaces, and 6 spaces. Now let's go ahead and label this. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, and 5/6. That would make this one equal to 6/6, which is also equal to 1. So we're going to take our numerator and count and jump from tick mark to tick mark this many times. In this case, it's a 2, so we're going to start at 0 and go 1, 2. Look at our second numerator, and starting where we stopped off with the first one, we're going to jump that many more times, which is 3. 1, 2, 3. That shows that the answer to this problem, 2/6 plus 3/6, is 5/6. So let's look at this other one. 4/6 plus 3/6. Let's go ahead and draw our number line. And we'll start with a 0. Now I think we're going to need to go at least up past 1, so we'll go ahead and make our number line go to 2 and 1. Once again, because of our denominator is 6, we need to separate this into 6 equal spaces. 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 4 spaces, 5 spaces, and 6 spaces. And we have to do the same between 1 and 2. So that's 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 spaces, 5 spaces, and 6 spaces. Now let's label our tick marks. And 3/6, 4/6, 6, 5/6, and this would also be equal to 6/6. Now when we cross over to 1, we're going to have to write 1 and 1/6, because now we have one whole. And we'll continue just like that. And that brings us to 2. If we were to write 2 as an improper fraction, that would be 12/6. Now let's do our math. We see that our numerator, our first numerator, is 4. So we'll start with 0 and we'll jump 4/6 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That shows us where our 4/6 ends up. Now our next numerator is 3, so we're going to jump 3 more spaces. 1, 2, and 3. So we see now that when we add 4/6 plus 3/6, the answer is 1 1/6. And that's how you do addition on a number line with fractions.